In a move that sent shockwaves through Pittsburgh Steelers fans, the team traded away George Pickens, their star wide receiver, who had emerged as the team's top target over the last 2 seasons. Pickens, still only 24 years old and on his rookie contract, was a rising star, and his departure left many questioning the reasoning behind such a bold move. He was expected to count just $3.656 million against the cap in 2025, an affordable cost for a player of his caliber. Yet, despite his potential and solid production, the Steelers pulled the trigger on a trade that saw Pickens land with another team. This wasn't just any trade, though. It was part of a long and storied history of the Steelers parting ways with top-tier wide receivers. And as we have learned from past transactions, whenever Mike Tomlin and company decide to move on from a wideout, the rest of the league better tread carefully. Look back at Pittsburgh's history of wide receiver trades, and you'll see a trend. Not one of these players performed as well with their new teams as they did with the Steelers. Santonio Holmes, traded to the New York Jets in 2010 for a fifth-round pick, never recaptured his Super Bowl MVP form. Martavis Bryant, shipped off to Oakland in 2018 for a third-round pick, faded into obscurity. Antonio Brown, the most high-profile of them all, was sent to the Raiders in 2019 for a package including third- and fifth-round picks, yet his career quickly spiraled out of control. Chase Claypool, who had shown promise in Pittsburgh, was traded to Chicago in 2023 for a second-round pick, but he struggled to make an impact with the Bears. Deontay Johnson, meanwhile, was traded in 2024 for cornerback Dante Jackson and a pick swap. And now, George Pickens traded away for a third-round pick and another pick swap. Steelers defensive lineman Cam Heyward made a poignant point on his Not Just Football podcast about Pittsburgh's ability to part ways with wide receivers at the right time. He didn't mince words when discussing the franchise's track record. You have to take a step back and look at the history of trading wide receivers in Pittsburgh, Heyward said. There's been some successful history with that. When you look at who's made it past their rookie contract with the Steelers, it's been very few. I was looking at the numbers, and it's wild. You had Antonio Brown, Deontay Johnson, Hines Ward, and Juju Smith-Schuster, and maybe another year with Juju. But for the most part, the Steelers know when to re-sign and when to make the move. They know when to pull the trigger on a trade. So, we'll see how this turns out. I honestly believe we could be a better team because of this trade. Heyward, like the rest of the NFL world, woke up on May 7th to the news of Pickens' trade. His reaction was one of surprise, but he didn't seem overly concerned. In fact, his comments suggested that he trusted the team's decision-making process. It was a surprise for sure. I woke up and saw the news just like everyone else, Heyward admitted. I didn't know anything about it beforehand, but like I said, the game is the game. I know it benefits both teams. We get another third-round pick, and they get a wide receiver to pair with CeeDee Lamb. It's a win-win for both sides. While Heyward seemed to understand the rationale behind the trade, he couldn't help but wonder what could have been if Pickens and DK Metcalf had been on the same team. The Seahawks had already made headlines earlier by securing the star wideout with a 5-year, $150 million contract. With Pickens and Metcalf both on the same roster, the pairing could have created one of the most potent receiving duos in the NFL. I would have loved to see George and DK play together, Heyward reflected. That would have been something special. But, like I said, hopefully there's something in the works. We'll see how it all plays out. Heyward's comments shed light on the internal confidence within the Steelers organization. The team has built a reputation for making bold moves that often pay off in the long run. It's not just about trading players, it's about understanding the timing and the context of the NFL landscape. Pittsburgh has consistently shown that they know when to let go of players at their peak value and when to move on from a position of strength. While fans are naturally wary of losing a young talent like Pickens, they should take comfort in the fact that the Steelers have rarely been wrong in their evaluations of player value. The trade could very well turn out to be another example of the Steelers' ability to maximize their assets. It's a franchise that operates with a long-term vision, and their recent history suggests that they are poised to continue their success, even if it means making difficult decisions along the way. For Pickens, his trade marks the end of a promising chapter in Pittsburgh, but it also opens up new opportunities for him to thrive elsewhere. With CD,